So the footage you're seeing here is just a 0-hour solo flawless on expert mode done this week on a Titan. This is just background footage. It's filler for you to watch while I talk to you about serious matters, because I didn't want a blank screen. I want something for you to see in the background whilst I talk about the serious issues about Destiny 2 and its future and what we are facing as Guardians. And my strategy personally for my channel. Alright? Now, I'm not trying to promote doomism or tell you false information. This is absolutely straight up facts. So, fact number one. Since Dawning came out, the active player base retention and numbers has went down. With the November patch, was it late November, the ×3 super recharge buff update, that increased player retention numbers. There was a spike there with that. I've looked at the numbers. I'm not going to show you the numbers in this video. It's public for you to go and look at. Anyways, that piqued interest. Soon as that happened, people are on, right? Let's see what this update's about, right? Then Dawning comes out and the numbers go down. And it's affecting everybody's channel, Twitch, YouTube, it doesn't matter what or who you are in Destiny 2, whether you're a comedian, PvP, PvE, whatever you do, everyone's affected. The numbers are lower. Why? Because it's a simple metric. If you don't play Destiny 2, you are less likely to watch it. You are less likely to watch anyone play it because you may be playing another game like Path of Exile. I believe a lot of Destiny 2 players have went to Path of Exile or Warframe or the First Descendant. Those are the types of games that some Destiny 2 players are playing until January, because this game's basically going to be dead now until January, until the Act 3, and then until we get Heresy and all that stuff, right? And then you got Apollo going forward with that. So there's been too many scandals with Destiny 2. There's too many bugs in the game. There was the RNG loophole for weapons being bugged, meaning you couldn't farm god rolls. God knows how long that was going on for. No one knows the date of it. It might have been from Fellowship. We don't know. Nobody knows the answer to that. Anyways, there was the gate and the wake gate with tonics, which is now fixed, I believe. Right? But it pissed people off. All these things are pissing people off. Then Dawning releases with an event card that is free to pick up. It was free to pick up, and then Bungie, what they should have done is showed goodwill and give people, the players, the card for free. But I would argue, even if they did that, it doesn't matter, because the seasonal events in Destiny 2 are what is an element of what's killing the game. The seasonal events, summer, solstice, rubbish. Guardian games, palatable but still kind of rubbish. Halloween was good this year, only for one reason. You could farm class items. I farmed Halloween loads. I liked it. I didn't like the Lost Sectors. I never have. The Haunted Forest should come back. Themed Haunted Forest is always better than a Lost Sector. Okay? We need to come away from Lost Sector culture, because for some reason, when they updated Lost Sectors, there's somebody at Bungie that thinks they're endgame. They may be proud of themselves that they made Lost Sectors, because Lost Sectors never used to have champs. When Destiny 2 first launched, never had champs. But somebody somewhere in that office thinks that Lost Sectors are good for seasonal events. They are never good for seasonal events. They are additive. Dawning should have its own event with the Lost Sectors, as a side platter, not as the main course. You're not going to have soup for your main course at a restaurant, are you? You're going to have the steak. Where's the steak? There's no steak with this Dawning update. There's nothing. Alright, the update, the weapons, the Dawning Essence, bacon cookies, all that stuff. I've never enjoyed it, honestly. I've never liked seasonal events. The seasonal events, the first solstice ever I enjoyed, because it was totally brand new. The first solstice. So the first solstice. With the area in Cosmodrome. It's very vertical. The map's very good when it first came out, but they reuse that every year. Every year they reused it. So by 5-6 years down the line, however long it's been now, People are tired of that. Same thing for Dawning, same thing for the Halloween event, same for all of it. They can't keep copy and pasting these events. What I want is factions back in the game. Future War Cult, Dead Orbit. I want a faction-based system in Destiny 2. Why is there no faction-based system in D2? There was in D1, and don't tell me that it wasn't there, because it was. It wasn't fully fleshed out, but at least it was something. What have you got now? We have no factions. Factions are part of the lore in Destiny 2. They could make events out of the factions like they used to, but make them rework the entire thing. I know they were a disaster in Destiny 2, but that was because of tokens, Guardian. It wasn't because of what you think it was. Tokens was a problem. That was a long time ago. Most players don't even remember what tokens are. They need to bring factions back as an event. Guardian games, no good. All of them. That's what's causing people to not play. Okay? Even Destiny 2 vets. Now, let's come on to the big YouTubers and streamers. Now, I consider this channel to be small. Let me give you the parameters. A channel less than 10k subs is really small. A channel less than 40 to 50k subs is small to medium size. Small to medium. If you're above 50k subs, okay, you start to approach the next tier. The big YouTubers are YouTubers and streamers that have hundreds of thousands of subs. That is the parameters. That's it. Right. The big streamers aren't playing Destiny 2, barely. They're asking their own chats and communities what game they should be playing. I watched Dato an hour ago. He's asking his chat what game do they want him to play. And he's asking people. Dato's the big dog, and he's very clever, and he knows when the community sentiment gets low, he knows about it. I know about it. Don't think that I don't. I'm very clever with the stats. I didn't just get here by accident. I look up stats a lot, more than what you care to maybe realize about me, and I do know about them. So I knew a few weeks ago this was happening. I said last week, everyone ignored me about it. I don't know why you ignored me about it. I was saying, look, the numbers are dropping. What's going on? I check with my own channel. Now, it's nothing I'm doing wrong, because let me give you a point of reference now. This is more particular to me. When I posted a solo up years ago, loads of solos, my average would be 20 to 30k views. On solo GM, solo dungeons, week 1, day 1 sort of stuff. Finding out new strats for solo, my god, 40, 50k views. Devil's Ruin days, off meta stuff, slaying out. So many good videos back in the day, 3-4 years ago. However, I'm making very good videos now. In actual fact, better videos now than ever. My editing and my dialogue is now better than it's ever been, but my views are way less than ever. I'm happy. I'll be looking to get 2 to 3,000 views on a solo video, as opposed to 3 years ago getting 20,000 views and 30,000 views. We was going somewhere, but now we're not. And it's not because of me, it's because of Destiny. Because if people aren't playing, people aren't watching. That is a metric that you cannot argue with. If somebody is not playing this game, they are far less likely to watch watch videos on it, because they're going to watch videos on the new game that they're playing. I.e., Path of Exile, Warframe, The First Descendant. Whatever they've went to, they'll watch videos about that game. That's how it works. I know this myself. If I go and play Batman Arkham Asylum and replay that series, for example, I know this is kind of random, but if I did, I might watch a couple of videos about it to sort of perk my interest up about it a bit more and maybe replay them. For example, that's just giving you like a real world reference. Getting back to the big YouTubers, so Dato's asking his chat today what games to play. Sweat Circle is playing Astrobot. Of all games. Game of the year, he's playing Astrobot. Right? Astacross is playing Warframe. Right? The Jez is going to be taking a mini break off D2 and not doing many videos. The Jez. I'm sure we should know all who Jez is. These guys have thousands of followers. Okay? Thousands. Much more than me. I'm very small. So if they can't sustain on D2, then how can I? Seriously, how can I do that? How can smaller people do it? How can people who solo GMs do it? Because they're only getting 1,000 views, 2,000 views, maybe 500 views, and their video might be better than anyone else's that week. They might have an amazing video up, right? But it makes no odds because, they're not pro algorithm. They're not going with the meta and stuff. The difference with my unique selling point, and this is not me being, big headed, was and always was to have a monologue over the top of the video with with moment to moment commentary over the gameplay, which it's actually a skill set in itself, and you don't see many people do it. There's only 5 people that are actively doing this style of videos, this style. You will never see Dao do this because he's playing the meta. I'm playing my meta in my own realm, but it's starting to give out. So I need a future-proof ourselves. Again, just to summarise, Destiny 2 has had too many scandals. The Christopher Barrett thing with the lawsuit, the layoffs last year, right? It all started since Lightfall. There's been scandal after scandal. Yes, there are scandals. I'm sure we all know what the word scandal means. They've been scandals, right? Laying off too many people. There's a mobile game. I think that pisses people off, that the mobile game's good. It pisses me off that Destiny Rising's actually good. I've watched people play it, and it's surprising how good it is. Getting Sparrow Racing, I've heard. I don't know. I haven't seen that footage. Why isn't Destiny 2 getting Sparrow Racing? All these features. They need to rework Patrol. The game, like for Endgame, the game should have world tiers, right, of difficulty. So there's an easy tier, and then you can up the world tier. That would make exploring planets viable, and you could farm adept weapons in open patrollable areas, make an end game mode for it, up the ad density on planets. Imagine going to Moon and there's hive enemies everywhere, and they're sordid enemies, and the secret VIP enemies, secret chests that are on a GM mode, so we have Grandmaster planets. There's all sorts of ideas, but I'm wasting my time trying to tell you that this is what they can do, this is what they should do. It doesn't matter because Apollo's been developed already, basically, and I believe probably most of what is going to be in Apollo will be pretty much be getting made now, right? Because it's not that far away, 6 months or whatever. It's not that far away. So now they'll be finalising stuff. So what we get with Apollo is what we get. It's going to be a Metroidvania type game. That means that you can play the game and there's different starting points, and it's not a linear way of playing Destiny, which is very interesting. That is interesting. But we need a game world reset. That's a topic for another a day, the game world reset. I'll maybe make a video about this, but I need to give you that video separately. So that's why Destiny 2 is on its end. The next portion of the video is going to be how we make sure that this channel survives the Exodus. Because we're now going to come into the Exodus period from now until, if January's content's rubbish, then it's going to be bad again. It might be bad until Codename Apollo. That means there's 6 months of rubbish, right? 6 months of basically rubbish content, buggy content, and that's a long time. So I need to future-proof this channel so that it exists. Because listen, if this channel just goes, too low views and it's not worth my time, then I'll just go. I'll just stop. We'll take a massive layoff break. Just won't post anything, and it'd be a damn shame for people who want this style of content, and it will die. When I stop doing this, you won't get this style or level of in-depth content like this in this exact way, in this style. It won't be replicated by anyone in the exact same way. There'll be people with their own versions of this style, but it won't be the same honesty. It won't be the same humor because of where I'm from and how I am. It's all going to be different. And I believe that there's some people that do want this style of content, and that's been proven in the past. It's just that less people are playing. So I'll get on to the part 2 on what I can do to strategize to make sure that this channel stays alive. So on screen you're going to see some images on how we can future-proof this channel so that it does not hit max Exodus and die, because if my channel dies, make no mistake, this style of content will die along with it. This style of long format, monologue, in-depth content that basically doesn't exist anywhere in the same capacity. There are 4 or 5 others in the community that does this style of content, but they are not me and I am not them. My sense of humor is different to theirs. They might be from a different country, their culture's different. My culture's different to theirs. So my style of humor is not their style of humor. My style of giving you info is not their style. Do you see what I'm saying? So this style of content would die if I give up on this channel. So I don't want that to happen. We want to basically give Guardians what they want, is a Discord server. So I've done that. Anyone can join it. It's Chablo 91 official YouTube server. I've created that. Anyone can join that. There's no fee required. However, I want to streamline a premium service within Discord, which is going to be offered for 5 so if you're a YouTube member on this channel, you will get an invite to the private Discord server, and that is for you to ask me direct questions about solo endgame tips on weapons, builds, bosses, anything you can think, you can ask me, basically. Right? So say, for example, a Guardian's chasing a God Roll weapon and they want to use it for solo purposes, but they're not sure which perk sets the roll to use. I can quickly advise you which one that would be. Right? I can also put you straight on ideology about solo ideology in Destiny 2, because that's the biggest biggest problem I see is people get their ideologies wrong with solo. They try to go too fancy with tablecloth builds. They don't truly know the meta for solo properly. They sort of watch various YouTubers and they're getting knocked about from pillar to post, and they don't really know what to do. They try to emulate other people. It doesn't work. This is not for everybody, but this is for some people. For those people, you get an extra line of service. If you become a member on my YouTube or a Patreon member, which Patreons are not sorted, yeah, it's on process for me. It'll be processed next week. I'll let people know about that. But if you become a YouTube member on my tier 2 YouTube membership for 5, you'll get access to that private server. If you don't want to become a member, that's fine. Also, you can still join the YouTube server, and I can probably still ask you a question as well. But I will prioritize the private channel for paying people, because that's just how that would work. Because then what's the point in offering a service then? You understand? So you will get you'll be prioritized. This is me saying to you, look, I can't answer 300 or 400 questions, but I can maybe answer 20 or 30 in a day. Way to do that is to streamline the service, offer a premium service. Not everybody wants this, but people who do, it is there for you. Rather than you just commenting on my YouTube video and saying, what about this? And I get back to you in 4 hours, and then 4 hours wasted. Whereas you could ask me on Discord, and I can, if I'm available, I'm able to ask you quicker, and you get to know your information better. So that's the information. There'll be links about this below. Obviously, as I said, the Patreon's not set up yet, but the YouTube memberships is. For existing channel members, I couldn't change the price point because that's what I was wanting to do. Because if I charge, Patreon's going to be 5 for the membership, so I want YouTube to also be 5 for the Discord server. Because now I'm actually offering a service, a proper service, not just loyalty badges. Loyalty badges are whatever. They can be trashed, they can be thrown away. Who cares? Come on, somebody in your 30s and your 40s don't care about those. You care about mainly advices, interactivity with who you watch videos on. That's what's most important, and I know that is the case, and I've always known that. It's just that, look, I'm one man. How can I do all this by myself? Moderating Discord, part of it's because I haven't been on Discord since 2019, so I've got some learning to do with it. Yeah, I know it's crazy. You're going to say, why am I not on Discord? Well, I've been in an infinite time loop of soloing since then. Well, since 2017, but especially since 2019. I've been cooking since then, haven't I? I ain't got time for all this stuff, but I'm going to have to make time for that stuff, aren't I? So that's the information on this. If you're confused about anything, just comment on this video about how you would join said server. I've only just set it up today, so there are no members and stuff. I'm not worried about it growing super fast. It doesn't have to be doing anything like that. Even if it was 10 members, I would be happy. Even if it was 5 or 10 members, hey, that's something, right? Anything to keep the channel lights going, because, as I say, if there's max Exodus and Destiny 2 fails on us for views, then what else have I got to rely on? You know, that's another thing. Last thing is, if Destiny 2 was to really, really fail for me, I'm gonna have to become multi-platform, multi-game. I'm gonna have to play new game releases that interest people, and I'll have to get on with it. And I've had problems in the past, playing new game releases, nobody watching it, but I'm gonna have to get on with it and improvise. D2 content's not gonna stop, even though all this stuff's going on, which is kind of crazy. So that is the number one thing. Anyways, that's the video on this. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.